When faced with a time of crisis, the Z Fighters have never once folded, as we've seen Goku and Vegeta overcome every obstacle that's been in their way, and honestly, that's something we should all be inspired by. So now that our first Legends video is out of the way and it seems like you all really enjoyed it, I wanted to do a video on something really interesting happening in Dragon Ball Super right now. Back in Dragon Ball Z, when we first met the Supreme Kai, he informed Goku and the others of an ancient evil that terrorized the galaxies millions of years prior. An evil wizard named Bibidi brought forth the menace known as Majin Buu, who at one point in time was the most evil, destructive being in the universe. After destroying the Earth's population and absorbing most of Goku's friends and family, the evil parts of Majin Buu were destroyed by the Spirit Bomb, while the good version of him lived on with Hercule and the rest of the Z Fighters, until recently. Shortly after the events of the Tournament of Power, Planet Eater Moro escapes from his eon-old captivity, and his target is, of course, the Dragon Balls. Be sure to follow me on Twitter to keep up with all things Dragon Ball, and I also do giveaways every now and then, including right now, so make sure you go check it out. But without further ado,
I got swords on my back, samurai stack, ninjas with me, niggas throwing stars at these bitches, eating ramen noodles in the hood with my ninjas.
After getting completely dominated in their first fight with Moro, Goku and Vegeta awaken in one of the Namekian households after being healed, only to the news that the most powerful fighter the Namekians had left, an assimilated super warrior, had just been killed by Moro. Vegeta remarks that Moro has already grown massively stronger since their last fight, to which Goku agrees, saying that he's probably been absorbing the energy of the whole planet in the meantime. On top of that, his hunt for the Dragon Balls is going unexpectedly quick, as Vegeta says that he seems to be finding them by going to all the Namekian villages and attacking them one by one, similarly to how Frieza once did. Fortunately, they have the final one here with them, so as long as he doesn't find this place, then they should be fine for now. In another area of Namek, Moro continues to slaughter the rest of the Namekians in his attempt to gather the rest of the Dragon Balls. In no time at all, he somehow spots a hut, and when his servant returns, he comes out with another Dragon Ball, and intending to waste no time at all in going straight for the next one, Moro and his soldier head off. With 6 in his possession now, Moro is only one Dragon Ball away from making his wish, and as he and Cranberry fly off, Moro says that the last Dragon Ball is near where they originally first landed. Simultaneously, Goku and Vegeta both sense Moro's massive ki moving extremely fast, as Goku says that he's definitely on the move now, and unfortunately, it seems like he's flying straight towards them. Immediately, Goku and Vegeta get dressed, knowing that they have no other choice but to meet him head on now, and they head out the door with no hesitation. When they get outside, they hop on a nearby cliff, awaiting the arrival of Moro, and this is when Vegeta says that, as Goku should already know by now, it would be a miracle for them to survive this battle a second time. No longer hiding their power levels, Moro senses Goku and Vegeta immediately now, coming to the realization that they actually survived the last battle. This time, he intends to make sure they both die at his hands, and as he approaches them, Goku and Vegeta power up in preparation for the final battle. They fly off straight towards the ship, and we see both parties in heavy anticipation for the showdown. Suddenly, another ship intercepts them, and on board, Miras from the Galaxy Patrol appears on top. He fires his lasers at Moro's ship, taking out the wings, causing Moro to evacuate, and when he appears in the air, Miras sets out to make his next move. Moro goes on fire and attack at the Galaxy Patroller, but Miras is way ahead of him as he takes flight in order to get level with his opponent. Once they're face to face, Miras uses another weapon that shoots out a sort of bubble that encloses Moro inside of it. Somehow, whatever this solution is made out of is strong enough to keep Moro captured for the time being, and he's pulled down to the ground below. Mira says that this device was developed specifically to be able to pin Moro down and has been specially reinforced to withstand his attacks for a short period of time. Goku asks if they plan on taking Moro back to the prison now that he's been captured, but Mira says that this trap isn't strong enough to hold him for that long, as it's merely only meant to hold him until they find their next solution. And then, he calls back up to his ship and tells them to deploy him. Out of the side of the ship, Majin Buu gets pushed out and he lands on top of Jaco. When he finally wakes up, Jaco tells him to hurry and seal off the bad guy's powers, which means that Buu was actually able to gain access to his memories from the Grand Kai inside of him. This is when Buu lays eyes on Moro for the first time, as his anger erupts at the thought of him killing so many of his friends in the past. Moro, although confused at first, then begins to put it together that this Majin Buu that he's looking at right now is actually the Great Lord of Lords. This is when Moro actually breaks free from his imprisonment, to the shock of everyone, and across from him stands Majin Buu. Buu lets off an absurd amount of power, and then he charges straight at Moro, who raises a wall of flames, but Majin Buu flies straight through them. He sends Moro flying with a punch, and Moro's actually taken aback at his opponent's durability at first, but when Buu flies towards him again, Moro stabs him straight through the stomach with his hand. Obviously, attacks like this don't work on Majin Buu, however, so Buu just shoots a barrage of ki blasts at his opponent and regenerates. When the smoke clears, Moro appears again, holding another one of those absorption attacks that he throws directly at Buu. Somehow, however, Buu is able to easily deflect the attack as he kicks it into the air. After appearing overhead, Buu sends Moro flying to the ground with a thunderous punch. The beating goes on for quite some time as Majin Buu somehow just proves overwhelming for Moro, but when and how did Buu get this powerful? Goku says that it's been so long since he's seen Buu fight, and from the looks of it, Moro's magic doesn't seem to work on him, but Buu is also looking remarkably stronger than Goku remembered. And this is when it hits Mirrors, as he says that perhaps unlocking the memories of the Great Lord of Lords unleashed his latent potential, but to this extent is still phenomenal. Buu continues to put an absolute beating on Moro for quite some time, which leads me to the question of just how powerful did the potential awakening make Majin Buu? For someone who was certainly no slouch before, a huge power leap for someone like Buu is definitely something to take note of, and we can only hope to eventually see the full extent of Majin Buu and the Great Lord of Lords' true powers in the coming chapters of Dragon Ball Super. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching until the end. If you made it this far, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video as always. Down below in the comment section, let me know what you think is gonna happen with Moro and the Great Lord of Lords in the next few months. I have a few theories about things that I think will happen in the future, so be on the lookout for those videos, as well as some legend content on the way as well. Be sure to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all things Dragon Ball, and also for a chance to enter and win future giveaways whenever we do them. But have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
本気でやってこのざまだったかな。